Hi everyone. I'm in a bit of a quandary. I'm visiting my dad here, and I just read Iceman 4 on Comixology, and I really need to do the voices, but it's weird enough that I'm doing this video in the guest room without throwing in the character-specific voices I would be doing for Iceman. Now, like I said many times, I don't like to curse. I feel like cursing is childish, but sometimes a curse word or a curse phrase is the best way to describe it. And using non-curse words is actually a less apt mode of description. So I will describe Iceman 4 as the gayest shit imaginable. It is stupidly gay, in that it is stupid in the way that it is gay. It's a coming out story in 2017. It's a coming out story by letter in 2017. It is a story that, so I get a lot of people writing to me, and one of them was a comic shop employee, and I actually can't tell the whole story he told because that would give away what store he worked at. You know, the customer might like it, but let's just say one gay character was very unhappy with Iceman, to which he made a very succinct point of it in the store. And this this offended me as a straight man. It was so ridiculous the way it portrayed gay people and just gayness in general. It felt completely backward. It was an embarrassment. It was a discredit to everyone. And like I mentioned in this Wasp video, I like to have fun and I like to joke around a roach, but I'm really getting angry. Like this is appalling. I can show you 2 and 3 books a day, not a week, a day, to show completely incompetent far left ideologue fools who don't care about the characters, don't care about the audience, who don't care about the legacy. They're just paying their rent on time for the first time in a while, and they all know it's a short ride, so they're just doing whatever they want. So this book starts off with a character who I think was in 2 issues ago. Feels like a long time ago. It was Zach, this kid that got out of West Covina because West Covina is mentioned in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and ha ha ha, isn't it so funny they went to West Covina. Anyway, Bobby it starts off in first of all, they do a summary that does not properly summarize the last issue. It basically says that the parents apologize and realizes it was their fault that they lost touch with Bobby and they were trying to make amends for it. That's not a description of the last episode. The last issue showed that Bobby's parents were pretty cool older folks. His mom was kind of like a amateur roast god. His dad was kind of like a salt and earth guy who literally faked a heart attack to like punch a 38-year-old muscle-bound guy and to try to save his family. His parents were awesome. Bobby is a complete clown, and we're starting to see that it looks like he's a sociopath as well. So Bobby, who I thought him and Kitty Pryde, they were just going to have him every now and then, but apparently they're making them some sort of like besties. Oh, I did a voice. Okay, so anyway, it starts off and she comes in, no breasts at all. Somebody used the term breast pecs. I'm going to use those. She had breast pecs, very small ones. And she's in her workout gear, and Bobby is effeminate and flaming, and he's writing a letter to come out to his parents. A letter. And he's coming out because people don't come out in 2017. Not Bobby, who's supposed to be at least 30. This is a ridiculous story. So he's like, yeah, I'll send them a letter. Then they can heal and process it on their own time. This is how parents process finding out their kid is gay. They walk to the computer, they get on Facebook, because older people like Facebook, and they post some generic thing about supporting gay people or gay rights, or hashtag so proud. Then we find out that Bobby is such an inept teacher that he has to be reminded that one of his students missed class. He goes, "Oh yeah, he was gone." Then they go out to look for him, and they make this weirdly big deal that a teenager is not in his room. And so he goes to find him, and through an awful set of circumstances, I mean the story. The story was mild. I mean, it was just painful to read it. Bobby finds out that there's a swanky club on the Upper East Side, and he sneaks in by pretending to be an effeminate waiter when he's actually an effeminate not waiter. His brilliant plan to sneak in is to carry an ice horse sculpture that would weigh upwards of 200 pounds, and then he tosses it into and then once he gets past like the first person, he tosses it like in a garbage can in front of everyone in the kitchen. Then he goes out to the dance floor, and he immediately runs into Dakin, because all the gay writer can think to do with the gay character is to have him immediately meet another gay character. So Dakin is somehow running a club. It's kind of the Hellfire Light. It feels like the Hellfire Club if the Hellfire Club like honored Groupons. Then he's like, well, so the best part of this is Zach. So 4chan decided at some point my name might be Zach, so that's become a running joke. And there's this like jagoff kid named Zach who's still cooler than the lead. And he's like, "Yo, what's up, dudes? I'm awesome. I'm in the hizzy." He's like, and he's telling these adults who are hanging out with him, he's like, "Yeah, my superhero name's going to be Zach Attack." And I was like, "That's my boy." But anyway, so Bobby comes in and basically first he flash freezes Dakin in a way that would have killed any other person. Oh, and of course they get into some weird romantic tension because all gay men are somehow like just instantly lovers if they're within 5 feet of each other. And then they like break up. It's weird and dumb. And then he goes and finds the kid, and the kid's basically like, "The X-Men is lame. You're a bad teacher. You didn't even notice I showed up." And it's just like a regular school. He's like, "Dakin's gonna have me party, and he's gonna teach me how to use my powers." It's like Zack Attacks is selling Dakin's school pretty darn well. Although I don't know Dakin that well, but I know he was kind of big like 10 years ago during the Quesada era. I read a couple comics, and this does not seem like Dakin. Like he's running a school, and like he's like getting little tiffs with like flirty tiffs with Iceman, and then later he gets totally trounced by Iceman, who throws I'm not making this up, a giant snowflake the size of a wagon wheel, and it pins Dakin to a wall, and blood flows in a giant puddle on the ground. I'm not making that up. So anyway, they do this weird thing where Zack and Tax is like, "Okay, I'm going to join a school," and then Bobby Drake's basically like, "I'll freeze you to death if you do." Like he says, "I'm going to put you in shackles," but then he has this psychotic look on his face. It really looks like he's going to kill the kid. And then there's a helicopter. So the kid jumps in the helicopter. He's like, "Ha ha, I foiled your plan." It's like, where is this helicopter going to? And then Dakin's like, yeah, it'll take me 60 minutes to get another helicopter here. You want to, you know what?" And then Bobby like throws this giant wagon wheel snowflake through his chest. And then they have a conversation. He's like, "Yeah, I should probably be a better teacher." It's like, no, you shouldn't be a teacher. You're a sociopath. It's very clear. You shouldn't be able to skewer someone right through the torso and then have a conversation. You shouldn't. Honestly, as bad as Dakin is, I mean, I don't really know him that well, but he actually wasn't committing that big of a crime to do any of the two things that Iceman did to him. Just because someone said you can heal, I mean, you're supposed to be a hero. We saw Iceman flash freeze an X into someone's chest, and then he's just like basically mutilating Dakin for fun, like he's like a Warner Brothers cartoon. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the art is freaking awful. So then we go back to the X mansion, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I lost a kid." And Kitty's like, "Well, I have good news. Your parents are visiting." By the way, he just visited his parents like 2 days ago, so it's not a big deal to visit them again. And then his mom's like, "I'm gonna cook for you." It's like, what? You know, your mom doesn't cook when she visits you like at your work. It doesn't make any sense. And then like all of a sudden he just goes, like they have this big corny close up on him and really bad art, and he goes, "I'm gay." So I was given Cena Grace the benefit of the doubt. Mim Headroom also gave him the benefit of the doubt in the review for issue 3, but this is just awful. And like I said about the store employee who gave the story about a customer, you're supposed to say like, as a gay man I was offended. I was just offended as a human to see people so demeaned. Like, if this Cena Grace wants to live his life as a 1990s, 2-episode arc character from Will and Grace, that's fine, but God, the way he writes gay characters is just appalling. It's like the same thing with David Walker and black characters. I get just with these other ones, I get the slight hint that if Cena Grace was just writing, Iron Fist, he could do like an okay fill-in issue, but this is disgusting. I was just disgusted with it. I was disgusting the way they, demean, significant portion of the human race by making them just like sociopathic clowns. I mean, if you can't say they basically decided to make Iceman a mascot, and then he's like the worst mascot ever. So somebody made the point where, so I've been trying to find this in like 4 different stores because I wanted to rip it up. I just had a feeling it's gonna be bad, but I wasn't able to. So I had to get the digital version, and someone made a point. It was like, when you buy the digital version, you have to live with that shame of having bought it. So now, like, every time I, log into Comixology, I just see all these freaking cringe volcanoes that I jumped in. But yeah, I'm really sick of this. I'm sick of SJW Marvel. These people are bad people. It takes a very bad person to walk into a, house you didn't create and start effectively pissing on the floor. Just throwing the sledgehammers through the walls because there should be a door here and the patriarchy doesn't want it. These are bad people. They can't create anything. They create no new lasting characters. In fact, they don't even try. Zack Attack is just like a generic kid, and he's just like a one-off goof. But it's like, oh yeah, literally seen as like, oh, who's gay? Yeah, okay, fine, Dakin. He's not writing them in character. He doesn't care enough to research it. He's a clown and a fraud. And these SJW Marvel people, they're frauds, and they are bad people. They're literally, these are not people you want to associate with. I really absolutely detest them as human beings. That might seem a little intense for a YouTube comic book channel, but I do 4 videos a day, so I'm starting to really kind of notice things you don't notice as a filthy casual. But yeah, so that's my I can't even call this a roast because it got kind of like weirdly serious, and I had to tone my voice down. But tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about this Iceman and this portrayal. I'm especially interested in hearing what gay readers feel about these 1990s cliche versions of gay people. Like whatever. Yeah, someone in 2017 is going to write a letter to their parents who live like 15 miles away. I'm gay. It would be great if they're like, no, you're not. You're straight. You've been dating women your whole life. Oh, by the way, you completely changed your personality like 3 months ago. Did one of the telepaths here do something to you? Did a telepathic villain do something to you? That would be a storyline that would be legitimately interesting. But like I said, Marvel is a freaking propaganda machine. There's a couple stories and couple series done out there by almost entirely white guys, and who are just keeping their head down, keeping their personal politics themselves, doing good stuff, and then the rest of the place is just freaking clowns. There's a bunch of fake geek girls, casual passerbys, freaking diversity hires. It's freaking disgusting. So anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. Patreon's going well. I'm adding sound effects. That's a lot of fun. probably have that one debuted by, I don't know, Friday or Saturday. Actually, no, probably Thursday, because that's the end of the month. So I can show it to the Patreon backers. This is what I did this month. I did Project Rebirth, and then I did the Batman story from last week. And I actually read the spoilers about Secret Empire 10, and I made a promise to never buy any of the books or read them, and then I had kind of like a gimmick idea, and it was literally just going to be me laughing, because I mean, you can go look at it, but it's embarrassing. Like, the clowns at SJW Marvel, they're like, look, we're not just going to have like the Cosmic Cube as just a get out of jail free card. The story has stakes, and it's just like, no, you just use the Cosmic Cube, just like reverse everything. I saw what was supposed to be like the big dramatic moment in this article in Bleeding Cool, and I just laughed. I was like outside Domino's going to get a pizza, and I was just laughing like a super villain, like, you freaking clowns. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll have more videos up tomorrow.